policy change in this country. But even most importantly, there is need for a shift in mindset. Why do I say this? Mr. Speaker, interns go through a lot, and most of them are actually breadwinners. Most of our youth working in the government offices, in various government institutions, are breadwinners. And I'm sure if we were to rank countries, the level of depression of the young people in countries globally, Kenya would rank among the top. This is why you see them very, very much aggressive on social media, aggressive on the streets. It's because of the level of frustration that our young people are going through. Mr. Speaker, we need a shift in mindset in our country as far as the administration is concerned. We need to think about programs and projects that will create one of the largest agricultural producers across the continent and globally. We have a very good climate. We have a very good soils. We have enough rainfall in most parts of this country. We have enough land, Mr. Speaker. And if we are able to convert these idle, huge tracts of land into agricultural fields, into plantations, we are able to secure the future and the future of our country as far as food security is concerned. It is so painful when I see sometimes that we have to import maize, we have to import some agricultural produce, when in reality, many of our young people are sitting idle. And these are hardworking people, because I know most of the youth right now are late millennials and Gen Zs. These are people who are very hardworking and can get into business. Mr. Speaker, I have just come back from Ethiopia, and we realized that Ethiopia has beaten us as far as agriculture is concerned, because we were there with our Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Committee. There is a policy in Ethiopia that the administration has put in place that restricts land fragmentation. And what is the consequence of this? The consequence is that we have enough land for production, and citizens are constricted into planned housing development. And once you put citizens to live at a certain place, we have enough land for people to produce. And shockingly, Mr. Speaker, in Ethiopia, agriculture is making up over 50% of the country's GDP. Now, you tell me, how much would Kenya make, given that we are gifted in everything? We have minerals, we have the manpower, we have brains. Our youth have brains. They are able to spur development in this country and take us to the next level. Mr. Speaker, I also believe that the government has done quite a lot as far as trying to reduce the level of unemployment in this country. But who is talking about it? Who is marketing what the government has done? How many people are talking about the programs that are put in place? Who is this bridging the gap between the government and the youth? Because there is clearly a huge gap. When you hear the president talking about the things he has done to secure the future of this country, to secure the youth, and you ask yourself, so who is telling the youth what is being done? Because they are totally oblivious. There is need, in my view, there is need to create an independent ministry for the youth affairs. Because, Mr. Speaker, the youth make up the largest demographic in this country. We make up the largest voting bloc in this country. We make up over 75% population of Kenya. That means we cannot afford to have the youth ministry, the youth affairs being put under, and I don't know, the under culture and the sports. Those are very diverse things. I don't even see the correlation between the three. If we have an independent youth ministry, we are able to have a budget for the youth, we are able to streamline all government operations through the ministry so that we are able to take care of the business of the youth, because it's a very huge business, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank my party leader, Raila Odinga, because he had a dream, Mr. Speaker. Baba had a dream. in the last campaigns, and he wanted the Ministry of Youth to be an independent ministry. Because, Mr. Speaker, the youth occupied a very central part of his heart. And he understood that the country is going nowhere if we are not talking about the youth. The country is doing nothing if we are not prioritizing the largest demographic of our country. I have worked in several ministries, state ministries, before I became a senator, Mr. Speaker. And I remember at one point in a state department, I was working under the Department of Finance. And one of the ladies could barely even see the computer, Mr. Speaker. She was struggling to peep what was in the computer. The boss, the top dog in that state department was from her tribe. And I was the only young person in that state department, in the Department of Finance. And I was given a lot of workload. Being punished for being young, being punished for being new, and even maybe for being a minority. Yet, such opportunities should go to very many young Kenyans, very many youth who are your children, for your information. Mr. Speaker, if the administration is able to its mind and start thinking of producing rather than consuming, we will start about the manufacturing sector. We will start thinking about factories. We will start thinking about farms. Kenyan youth are very talented and gifted. You can see what they are creating with AI. Is this AI controlled within the Republic of Kenya? If we advance technology, there is so much potential for our young people in technology. Kenya is, I think, ranking as the second largest consumer of internet continent-wide, after South Africa. Not even Nigeria has beaten Kenya. Why? Despite having the largest population, thank you. Despite having the largest population, over 250 million, compared to the 50 million of Kenya, Kenya ranks as the second consumer of internet continent-wide. Because in Nigeria, internet is expensive. So how are we utilizing the affordable internet in Kenya to benefit our youth, to benefit the largest demographic in our country? It's the same thing I always say when campaigning. You cannot think of taking care of a nation without taking care of the largest population of that nation. And when you secure the youth, you give them opportunities in agriculture, in technology, in manufacturing. We will be killing so many birds with one stone. One, we will be securing the future of Kenya as far as food is concerned. We will no longer be borrowing. Isn't it shameful for a nation to borrow food from outside when our youth are sitting idle? When we have land sitting idle? We should be thinking of projects in water, providing water to nomads in the north so that we can farm with our lands. How many investors are coming to set up factories in Kenya? What are we doing with our policies to ensure that our country is an attractive destination for manufacturing? What are we as state officers doing to ensure that when an investor comes, you don't first of all ask them for bribery? When Aliko Dangote was trying to set up a plant in Kenya for cement manufacturing, what happened? Mr. Speaker, he ran away because of corruption. How many opportunities would the Dangote cement factory would have brought to the young people in Kenya? How much frustration is being put on our local investors who have been here for so long? Mr. Speaker, there is a need to start thinking of our youth as our children, as people deserving of a decent life, a decent wage bill, decent employment. There is need for NYS to be made mandatory And these young people paid something while they are in school. If you look at all the nations that have developed since the time immemorial, their story of success and growth has been rooted in investing in the future of the youth. Look at the West African countries that have just gone through a coup. These leaders have taken initiative to invest in agriculture, in manufacturing. I have seen Burkina Faso relaunching its airline for the first time, Mr. Speaker. While Kenya, we are sitting here being a nation that has developed years ago, but we are still being defeated by small nation. How much are we producing to be able to borrow for loans, to be able to borrow? Personally, I'm very embarrassed to borrow something when I know I can actually get my hands in the mud and get it. I have sold pancakes and mandazis because I couldn't get a job in this government, because I did not know anybody. When I speak for the youth, it's because I have lived and walked this journey. And this was like 6 years ago. It was not long, Mr. Speaker. In this country, we must shun nepotism. We must shun tribalism. My fellow senators, be ready to employ somebody whom you are not related to. State officers and government agencies should be able to employ somebody even if they do not know them, as long as they are qualified. The requirements to be employed should be reduced, Mr. Speaker. You cannot continually impoverish families by not giving the young people whose parents and families have impoverished themselves to school them, and still they have to wait for close to 10 years to get a decent job. And then the same government wants to take care of the same parents that it has impoverished. This is a repetitive circle of poverty, which we have the power as a nation to change. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.